Well, good evening. This is Brad Winter from another episode, or whatever you want to call it, a Region Weather Live. I guess I've been calling them episodes. That's what we're going to call them, I guess. We're here just to take a look at the weather, and boy, wouldn't you know it, once again, things just don't quite go the way you want them to, right when you want them to. A little radar here basically froze up and broke down on me, but I was just going to show you the current conditions and all that fun stuff, but apparently we're not going. So we're going to move on. Here is a look at the current snowfall. Boy, what a change compared to what we've seen in the past. In just the last week or two, here was the area with all the snow. All you guys that I've got circled there in the yellow, you remember all the wind that we've had and all the blowing snow and low visibilities and fun conditions that we've had to deal with throughout the winter. Well, all of this has now gone away. I look outside my own window here, and boy, all we have left around Grand Forks is just a little bit of snow up in the piles and some big piles for those parking lots that really got pushed up. But there still are some very large piles out there. But my lawn is bare. All I've got right now um, is a little bit of snow kill that's been left out there. So, but obviously there is still some snow sitting on the ground that's being measured up and through northern parts of North Dakota, and as you get out into the lakes and the forest regions of Minnesota. So, but plenty of it's gone away, plenty of it's still left out there, and it looks like this week we're not really going to get rid of a ton just because of this next little system that's coming up. Here you can see a bit of a difference of what's going on here today. We had some cooler temperatures out in the east and north today. And then as you see why we've got this ridge sitting here that hasn't quite moved over to the east. Now you do have this system that's lingering out here, and that's the one that's going to be moving quickly out into the central plains and causing the snow and rain and all that to be ejected, moving into our region. But you can see that's still far down in the southwest. So in between that, we're going to be getting a little bit warmer temperatures over the next couple of days. Of course, along with that is going to be some strong southeasterly winds. Here you can see the wind gusts for tomorrow morning as of 7 a.m. So we're looking at gusts of 20 to 30 miles per hour possible to start off the day. And then as you get into the evening hours, still 20 to 30 out there, decreasing a little bit. But once again, all this is going to be basically out of the southeasterly direction, trying to draw some more warmer air into the Dakotas and Minnesota, and keep us reasonably mild, at least. We'll call it that. Once we get into Tuesday, and that's when this system comes moving out and affecting our area. You can see here it's depicting some rain out ahead of this. This is Wednesday as of noon, and a little bit of maybe some, it's saying freezing rain, but it's, if anything, it's because there might be a transition zone in between here. I'll pick a different color. A bit of a transition zone between this rain and the snow. I think it'd be more maybe a sleet in nature, just because one of the other reasons why I think that is, it looks like the temperatures are going to be all above freezing. So we're not, obviously we're not going to be able to get freezing rain at noon on Tuesday. So there might be the possibility of some rain and maybe some sleet in there. Now, as you can see, on the back side of this, once this cold air starts to get wrapped back in on the back side of this low pressure system, it does transition over to snow. Once we get into the evening hours, that snow quickly moves off into the central and northeastern parts of North Dakota, and while the rain is expected to remain further to the south and east. Now, there is a bit of variation as to some of these models. Now, what I've picked is this current model. We are working off of the GFS model. So it is an American model, and sometimes this one doesn't always perform the best, but this one does seem to agree with some of these other, the Canadian and the ECNWF model, the European model. So I've kind of picked this one, figuring, looking like this one probably looks like the best solution. It also seems to agree with some of the other ones. So we're kind of running with this for now. Now, just mind you, some of this could change as far as the timing and location wise. Maybe the snow could slip a little bit further south, or maybe the rain could move a little bit further north as we get into the Tuesday evening hours. But this is just a general overall feel for uh, what we're looking at as far as the system goes. You know, we're looking at a wide variety of of different types of precipitation, from rain to sleet, and then eventually expecting it to transition over to snow. I think that much is very certain, is that eventually this will transition over to snow with some rain mixed in there. It's just a matter of how much rain, how much snow, how much sleet's going to be in there. That's really going to be probably the tough part to pick out, is where exactly. But So that's kind of where we're going with. I think this model probably has the best depicted, and so we're just kind of running with this as of now. Maybe something will change, but this is kind of what I feel is probably the best solution. Now, as we get into Tuesday night around midnight, early Wednesday morning, we can see that we've got the rain cutting in through South Dakota and southern Minnesota, while the snow and the transition over to snow is looking to start to impact northeastern South Dakota and also across much of North Dakota, northwestern Minnesota. And then you've kind of got this transition area in through central parts of Minnesota and up in through the Arrowhead region of Minnesota as well. Again, I think probably the best chance for any type of freezing precip, freezing rain, sleet is probably within this region right here. So if you are traveling up through Duluth, Brainerd, possibly even Bemidji, that's probably your best chance for seeing any type of freezing rain, freezing precip, and then maybe even as far south as St. Cloud. Um, well, maybe north of St. Cloud, more of Alexandria, we'll say, where that freezing rain could occur. As you can see, this time frame, we're looking at the Tuesday night, midnight time frame. And within that, we're going to be seeing some gusty northerly or northwesterly winds on the back side of this. And then out ahead of this, some pretty strong southeasterly winds. Obviously, that's going to be driving some of that warmer air and keeping that rain further to the north. But if any of these areas should receive a little bit of snow, maybe it could blow around a little bit, but I think it'd be fairly warm when it does fall, that it really shouldn't impact it too much. Once we get into the Wednesday morning, it actually starts to pull out of a good portion of the region. You can see just a little bit of light snow left in through eastern North Dakota and in through northern parts of Minnesota. Then we've got this, once again, this transition area from Duluth down to the southeast, and then rain further south. The wind at that point, those strong northerly, northwesterly winds start to move into the eastern parts of the state. Again, just a matter of how much snow and blowable snow will occur. It's going to be kind of hard to discern. I think we're going to be looking at gusts of 20 to 30 miles per hour, but I don't think we're going to be seeing a whole lot of snow that's going to be able to blow around. It's going to be the wet, heavy stuff that's going to stick and probably won't blow around a whole lot. Once you get into Wednesday at noon, once again, that system continues to pull out, and all we're left with is just a little bit of light snow, maybe some flurries on the backside of this. And then one more time, we take a look at the wind. Still some gusts of 20 to 30. Most of the snow at this point is going to be kind of occurred in through these northern sections, so it might be possible at this point that these far northern areas, once you get into the 20 and 30 range, you might see a little bit of blowing snow up through there. But that, I think, would be about the most susceptible area for any blowing and reduced visibilities. Wednesday evening, still some light snow. Winds continue to push to the east. Getting a little stronger actually through the valley. We're looking 30 to 35 miles per hour possibly once we get into that Wednesday evening around 7 p.m. And then after that, that snowfall pretty much moves on out of the region. We're just going to take a look at the different variations of forecasted snowfall. Now here's the ECMWF that I talked about, and the Canadian, and the GFS, which we just looked at. And you can kind of notice the GFS and the ECMWF snowfall amounts are fairly similar. Now, the shorter range model, the one that we start to take a look at once we get closer in, narrow in that time frame, um, is quite different. And it's quite different from all the models. So it's very strange that it really hasn't um, um, gone along, I should say, with all the other models. So right now, I've been kind of saying this is the odd man out. Now there is the newest run in from this, and that snow is now pushed a little bit further east, so it's starting to kind of come in line more with these other models. So that's why I'm a little more confident just seeing this latest run that it's kind of pushing it further east, but it's still sort of doing its own thing a little bit. So I think once again this system is not quite on shore. By tomorrow it will be, and I think this model will definitely catch up with the rest of them. The rest of them seem to do a better job with these with the overall large pattern, and when these systems haven't quite come on shore yet. So this one's got a little bit of catching up to do, but we'll see. The overall blend of models is basically showing this for snowfall. You can see the highest snowfall of 4+ up in through the northwestern parts of Minnesota, kind of around that Roseau area, and then also kind of in that Arrowhead region, where I think 5 or plus inches of snow will fall. I also think some of these areas in this far northern areas could get 5+ inches of snow. I think some of this is a little bit underdone in some respects. So some of these areas, they're going to be picking up a good bit of wet snow with this system from Tuesday through the day on Wednesday. Now, the other thing we want to take a look at is the freezing or the ice potential. And there's a bit of a wide variety with this here as we kind of go along. Here's the model we were looking at. GFS paints quite a bit of freezing precip in through here where we're getting over 1/4 inch of freezing precip, and that might be overdone. Here's that VAM model, the American model, that the shorter range model. You can see how completely different that is from everything else. Here's the blend. Here's the kind of the one right now we'll probably rely on a little more, and you can see the greatest potential of any type of freezing precip once again, kind of from Duluth into Brainerd and points westward of there, basically right through the central part of the state. So just be mindful if you are heading out in through that region. That's probably got the best chance of seeing some pretty slippery conditions due to rain and the possibility of sleet. You can see up in the north, now we did talk about sleet. Not a whole lot of accumulation where it does happen. Obviously, there might be some very localized areas where the roads could be bad just because of the sleet. But overall, I think we're going to be expecting kind of a rain, snow type of event for the most part across North Dakota. All right, as we take a look at the forecasted temperatures, here's the Monday forecasted highs, where we're going to be looking at 30s across northern Minnesota, and then you're going to be down to the southwest. Once again, 55 to 65. So pretty nice condition, pretty nice day tomorrow, even though we're going to be seeing some stronger southeasterly winds. Tuesday, a little bit cooler down the southwest as this system kind of moves through the area, and we're really through mid part of the day already. The western part of the state's already starting to get northwesterly winds, so that's why the temperatures are already cooling off here on Tuesday, and so highs aren't expected to be that high. Meanwhile, further off to the east, temperature's still in the mid-30s to around 40, and I'm still dealing with some gustier southeast winds. Wednesday, everybody's going to be on the backside of this storm system, so that's why highs we're looking generally in the 30s across North Dakota and northern Minnesota, 40s and mid-30s in South Dakota, and then maybe even still some 55 down in far southeastern parts of Minnesota. By Thursday, things start to rebound a little bit. We start to get the highs back in the 40s and some 50s down in South Dakota. And then by Friday, everything's looking better once again, mid-30s to mid-50s, and even 60s down into South Dakota. Saturday, we're looking into the upper 30s in the far north to around 60 down in the south. So really a nice rebound coming back in store for the weekend. As far as the long range goes, here you can see by Saturday, we still have a little bit of blue showing up, so there is a bit of a a trough that does move through our area on Saturday. So, I mean, it's probably not quite as warm as maybe it even could be. There is the possibility of seeing a slight chance of maybe a few showers even in a day on Saturday. Um, well, excuse me, this is next Saturday. Hey, pick the right day, you dummy. There's that system that moves out. And then on, yeah, Monday, Sunday, Monday, okay, Thursday, yeah, Friday, Saturday. It is April already. Why? I'm all confused in my days. Good Lord, it's the end of March and it is April. Wow. Yeah, crazy. All right, so this is Saturday. I don't know why I saw April up there and I'm like, that's not right. No, dummy, it is. We're at the end of March. We're almost to April. Holy cow. Yeah, this year's already flying by. Yeah, wow. April. Yeah, so yeah, in April, some showers possible moving through. And once again, could be a little bit warmer, but that does kind of move out. And we are looking for some moderate temperatures throughout the week. Next week, there is the possibility by midweek of another system moving into the region. Could bring us another round of precipitation. Only one model is really, really, hammering that one, so I'm not really too concerned about it at this point. But it seems like once we get beyond Saturday, the models do vary quite a bit. But overall, the pattern is looking to just remain mild. We might get probably another system pull out about every week or so that might bring a chance of precipitation, mainly to the eastern parts. And it's not looking good still for those in the western parts of the Dakotas, where it's still looking dry. So that's the unfortunate news. Continued dry conditions, and there doesn't look to be any change in sight. So sorry for all those of you who are looking for some rain. That's really about it. So just be mindful if you're going to be doing some traveling, especially off into the eastern parts of the Dakotas, into Minnesota. As we're looking at the chance of some measurable snow, and it's going to be wet in nature. So just allow a little bit extra time as you go about your day later in the day, Tuesday, mainly through that Wednesday time frame. All right. That is all I've got for you. Thank you all for joining. This is Brad Warner saying good night, and we will definitely see you tomorrow. I don't have anything else going on this week. Thankfully, all our sports and everything is done. The boys did really great at state down in Minneapolis, so that's where we were over the past week, and there really wasn't much going on. Anyway, so I kind of took it upon myself to take a little bit of vacation, but that is done now. That is done. No more vacation. Now the next storm comes in. We got to talk about it, right? So that's what's going on. We will see you tomorrow with another update and tell you what's going on from there. Bye-bye.